Hi ladies, welcome back to Let's Play. Today we're going to play with card number 7. As you can see, this card has got lots of techniques. We're going to be playing with micro beads, we're going to be doing some fake stitching, we are going to be playing with corrugated board. So there's quite a lot to get through, so let's get started and let's play. Cool. First thing you need obviously is your playing card. I have used 2 sheets of dictionary paper. You can see how tiny they are. This was just an old dictionary I found at a charity shop. And also a piece of corrugated board. What I do is I just took an old pizza box and I cut up a little piece of corrugated board from that. So nothing overly exciting. And what we're going to do is we are going to make this into a tag. Once we've got it into a tag shape, we're going to take our hole piercer and you are lightly just going to dig in to your corrugated and you are going to tear at random. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just want to have some of that corrugated pattern sticking through around the edges. There we go. So that is what you want to do with your corrugated. So those are our layers to start with. First thing you need is a stamp. I have used a mix of stamps that I had in my stash. These just have various words on. And remember, you always apply your stamp pad to your stamp so that you don't get too much ink transfer. And then what you're going to do is you are going to stamp your dictionary paper. And again, I'm going to stamp. And I'm going to stamp the other dictionary paper. And what I'm going to do with that now, just shake it to dry it a little bit. These are going to be applied to our card. The first thing though is with our card, I'm not going to sand it today. I'm just going to use a little bit of my gesso and a paintbrush and going to give it a very light layer. Not a lot, just a tiny, tiny bit. Just to give your paper something to stick onto. Alright, so that's going to go there. You can see that your card is still sticking out from underneath. While that is busy drying, actually let's just dry it quickly with the heat gun. It won't take too long. We are then going to also paint our... Okay, there we go, that's more or less. We're also going to paint our little corrugated tag just with a little bit of white and around the edges, just so that it's not this brown color. We don't really want the brown. I just use my lid so we don't use too much paint. And there we go. Okay, so while that one is busy, we can just quickly try it as well. Okay, just normal gesso, white paint, whatever you have on hand. Remember, don't go and buy a whole lot of new stuff. Try and use what you've got. See what works. Play with your stuff that you have at home. Okay, now back to our podge, my favorite medium for these cards. And we are going to apply podge onto our playing card. You're not going to apply it onto the whole card, just like basically into the middle. And you can now lightly adhere that, and then also a light layer of podge just randomly in the middle, not the whole thing, onto the middle over there. Close your glue, put that away. Alright, so those are now both stuck down. I'm going to again just heat it. This is just for time. If you're doing this at home, you can just leave it for like 10 minutes to dry nicely. Okay, oops, sorry about that. Okay, so once that is dry, you can now tear all the way around the outer edge. And you can see that your dictionary paper stays behind with your text. Okay, we're going to do the same with our tag. Oh dear, I stuck that. Oh no, it's not upside down. I thought it was. Alrighty, there we go. So that is our tag as well. I have used 2 different colors of oxides. So I've gone with Antique Linen and Worn Lipstick. So we start with our Antique Linen. Again, please don't go out and go and buy a whole lot of inks. Use what you have on hand. And just to color it so that everything is not this white. Oh, there goes Dexter barking again. Okay, there we go. And you can get to all the outside edges as well. Okay, once that is done, keep your inks closed always so that they don't dry out. We are then going to move on to our Worn Lipstick. And just gently around the outside edge, just to give it a little bit of color. Okay, so same with that one. Okie doke, so that is our background of our cards and our 2 layers. So if you have a look, there are our 2 layers. Now I have just used a black Jelly Roller pen. These work quite well, and I'm just going to fake, not even stitch, I'm just literally scribbling. You'll see it doesn't pick up too well on the sides. Just go over it a few times with your pen. Faber-Castell pens work really well as well if you've got one of those. My highlighters aren't working so nicely. And with this one as well. I just do a bit of fake stitching on the inside in between as well. Okay, so there we go. Okay, not the neatest, but you just want a nice rough effect. So we're now going to do our pen. Okay, next step we're going to do is we are going to use a stencil. Try and find, this is a, I think this was a Celebrate stencil, if I'm not mistaken. I stand under correction. I love this particular stencil because it works well with this technique. So try and get a stencil that's got a little bit of a bigger pattern that you can apply your micro beads to. Okay, so we're going to apply on the base card, not on our tag. We're going to now apply our texture paste. Again, I'm using Little Birdie. I like it because it's nice and thick. But use what you have on hand, or I did give a recipe the other day to make texture paste. You're most welcome to try and make your own as well if you want to. All right, and we are just, you can see on the actual card where it sticks out. So don't go and do the whole middle because you're defeating the purpose. Just do around the sides. So on this one, around the side here as well. Just where we are going to see. And you can take that off. Okay, I'm just going to put that with a wet wipe to stay dry. Just stay wet at least. Okay. So, there we go. We have got our texture paste. Again, I'm going to dry with a heat gun. You can leave this to dry on its own if you want to. I'm obviously just using the heat gun so that we save some time in the video. This is going to form like a template almost to place your micro beads. And it does give you a little bit of dimension, so that's why we use the texture paste and we don't just stencil it on. It gives you a nice layer effect on your card. Alright, there we go. So that is, you'll see the colors from underneath are actually starting to show through now as well. Okay, now we are going to put our card onto our, our tag onto our base card. I just use Tombow. You can use whatever you want. Any double-sided tape or glue will work. You can apply that. Try and keep your card. Okay, this one's not going to work as my card's a little bit big. I'm going to move him over to the side so we can see more of that. Okay, you can see that tag's a little bit smaller, so try and make it a little bit tinier. Alrighty, so there is our tag. And what we're going to do now is we are going to apply a butterfly to the middle, and we're going to apply a key. I just use a little metal key. It looked quite cute on the butterfly, so go through your stash and see if you've got a little metal key. These butterflies yesterday I did post on Scrap and Sell. These are just from Pinterest. It's a sheet of cuttable butterflies. So if you don't have butterfly paper, don't panic, just print out your own. So these are literally just fussy cut. And what I do is I raise the wings on foam, just little foam squares. I'm not sure if you can see it there. And in the middle, I apply a little bit of Tombow. and that goes onto the card. This way your wings stay upright. You can also use a hot glue gun, it works very well. Okay, I've lost his little antenna, but that's fine. Okay, and then I am now going to apply my key to the middle. Oops, there we go. So the key is going to go into the middle as well. All right, next step we're going to do is we are going to apply our rope, and this is literally just going to be a bow. So you can just pull your, you can use black rope, you can use cord, string, whatever you've got on hand. Again, please don't go and buy a whole lot of new goodies. Well, you can go and support your local scrapbook shop. We all need the help. Oh my goodness, I can't tie a bow today. Okay. So that, all right, I'm just going to tie a little knot here for the moment because this one is not working so well. No, man. Sorry, girls. 1 second. I'm just going to do a single layer for now. My rope isn't big enough. Make sure your rope is long enough before you do this so that you've got a nice big bow. It stands out. Alrighty, there we go. Try and do a double layer though. One's a little bit loose. On the back, it should be a double layer. Okay, I'm just going to clean my fingers. They're very sticky. All right, now we're not finished yet. Last thing we're going to do is we're now going to play with gloss. So I love Anita's gloss. I think it works very well for this, but you can use whatever clear gloss you've got. So we are going to literally color in on top of our texture paste, wherever your hexagons are, or these diamond shapes, sorry. I am going to color it in with my gloss. All right, I hope you can see what I'm doing there. Okay, as I say, if your card is a little bit smaller on top, your tag, it will actually work much better. Oh, and while I'm busy with that, I'm just going to color, I hope you can see, I'm just going to color the outside of my butterfly wings and then just a few of the veins, just to give it a bit of sparkle. Okie dokes. Once you're done with that, you're now going to apply micro beads. So micro beads are quite cool. They're very, very tiny little beads that you get. Celebrate are awesome. They always include them most months in their bulk packs, and I'm sure most of you don't know what to do with them. If you don't have micro beads, you can use glitter for this as well. It will work. It won't work as well, but it will work in case of not having it. I'm just using a craft tray. Just find yourself a little Tupperware container to use if you don't have a craft tray. And this, I'm literally just going to pour my micro beads. And as you can see, they are now going to stick onto my gloss that's on my cards. All right, so that is the effect that I'm looking for. So that I can put out the way. And then this I'm going to leave to dry. And the last step before we finish and let this dry is I'm just going to take a little bit of black gesso, but please remember, if you don't have gesso, go ahead and use just plain black paint. You can even just use your black ink. Don't overthink it. Just take one of your black inks and, oh goodness, okay, I'm just going to apply a little bit of black, water it down. Okay, and not that one, that's the clean one. And then this here, I'm just going to tap it, that I have a little bit of splatter on my card. And that's it. Now, obviously, you just need to let this dry. So you can see that's the old one with the beautiful patterns. So depending on how you do your gloss on your stencil, try and do it neatly, because then you can actually get the micro beads to stick inside your goodies. All right, ladies, I hope you've enjoyed that. Lots of work this week, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Please remember, do not load your finished cards under the video. Rather load them under the Let's Play post on Scrap and Sell, which is on Facebook. If you're not a member yet, please join. And yes, enjoy. Thank you so much for your time.